Well, folks, if the Earth ends this week, it won't be because of climate change, student debt, or a broken healthcare system. Nope. It'll be because a rock the size of a 30-story building just barely missed us. NASA says not to worry, but I've got a better reason to worry. Washington just rolled out the National Guard, the FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security on their own city to crack down on what they're calling a youth crime wave. Armored trucks in D.C., gold prices hitting record highs, and Cody Jinks just dropped an album that's more honest about the working class than half of Congress on their best day. Welcome to Roughly Speaking. I'm Lee Calvin, here to cut through the static and be louder than the lobbyists. All right, let's start in D.C., where the administration just decided that the best way to fight crime is to treat the nation's capital like a war zone. Roll tape.
Good morning. Well, President Trump's so-called D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force is essentially a way for the president to have federal oversight over the Metropolitan Police Department, citing high crime and failed policies here in the district. Now, the task force is charged with increasing the number of police officers in public spaces, maximizing immigration enforcement, and expediting concealed carry licenses for, quote, law-abiding citizens. Trump has been vocally critical of crime being near, quote, historic highs in D.C., despite data from Metro PD showing that violent crime actually dropped in the district.
According to the New York Post, Trump and the White House are deploying the National Guard, FBI, DHS, ICE, park police, hall monitors, you name it. They're calling it a new 7-day Make D.C. Safe and Beautiful crackdown, supposedly to tackle youth violence. But here's the punchline. Violent crime is actually at a 30-year low, and overall crime is down 26% year-to-date in 2025, while 2024 saw a 15% drop from 2023. So let's talk kids. The D.C. juvenile arrest rate is nearly double that of the national average, roughly 52 arrests per 1,000 people aged 10 to 17. Meanwhile, youth aged 15 to 20 now commit 21% of homicides and non-fatal shootings, up dramatically from 11% in 2021-22. So maybe there is a youth crime wave, but here's the part that no one talks about. Crime goes up when rent does. Crime goes up when grocery prices balloon. Crime goes up when wages stall out, but credit card debt breaks records. So, we've got a city that's getting safer, youth crime rising, not a rampaging mob. You know what doesn't solve that? A Humvee parked next to a corner store and a press conference full of finger pointing. When your answer to poverty is paramilitary policing, what you're really saying is we don't have solutions, but we do have suppression. Meanwhile, NASA says 2 giant asteroids barely missed Earth this week. Now look, I love space, but we treat this stuff like it's the only looming threat out there. A rock the size of a jumbo jet flies by and the news is all, are we ready for impact? What if it hits? Meanwhile, healthcare bills kill more people annually than any asteroid ever will. We've got a housing crisis that makes FEMA trailers look like luxury condos. We've got infrastructure so brittle, a pothole could eat an entire Buick. But sure, let's panic about space debris, because the real disasters, they're already here. They just don't have a flashy name or a countdown clock. Over on Wall Street, it's a mess wearing a suit. Taiwan's Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, is printing money, up over 22% in revenue this month. Intel CEO is getting called out by Trump, who's basically wanting his resignation, but at this point, that's just a rite of passage. Firefly Aerospace just face-planted post-IPO. According to Reuters, their stock price fell 11% Friday morning after a stellar public offering. Expedia's stock is flying while gold hits a record high. What's driving all of this circus? Number 1, speculation ploys. High volatility is the opiate of the rich. You can win fast or bankrupt faster. Number 2, inflation and consumer pain. As costs surge, groceries, gas, rent, the recovery you're hearing about is rigged. The stock index may look healthy, but your bill is hemorrhaging. Number 3, hedging with gold. Record high gold is basically the smoke signal that people don't trust paper money. That's fear talking. You see the pattern? If you're rich, this is a fun roller coaster. If you're working class, it's a damned earthquake. If you're tired of sticker shock at the pump, at the grocery store, or just paying rent, over on Redneckonomics, our working class economics show, we're diving deep in our new series, Sticker Shock Therapy. We're breaking it down episode by episode. Inflation, deflation, shrinkflation, stagflation, and more. Because when they say the economy is recovering, they never mean your economy. Outlaw country superstar Cody Jinks just dropped his new album, In My Blood, with Charlie Starr and Blackberry Smoke featured on the album's title track. Make sure to check out the opening track, The Pedal Steel Laden Better Than the Bottle. And so far, I think my favorite is probably Lonely Man. And let me say this, these folks in Americana and red dirt country scenes, they're telling the truth about heartbreak, grit, and busted dreams more than Congress could ever understand. And that seems to be a cultural problem. Say what you will about the current state of country music, but the working class soul still sneaks through the noise sometimes, and that's worth tipping your hat to. Let's jet east to geopolitics. Putin is headed to India later this year, the first trip since the Ukraine war began, but this trip isn't window dressing. The agenda includes deepening defense ties, including joint weapons production and counter-terror cooperation, securing energy deals. Russia has become a key, discounted supplier of oil and fertilizers to India, and trade has jumped from $13 billion to $27 billion recently. Arctic and high-tech collaboration, nuclear, infrastructure, and trade roadmaps are also in play. Let's be blunt. While Congress fusses over climate slogans, this visit sets the stage for real global realignment. Defense contracts, energy independence, and financial alternatives. It's not just strategic, it's profit. And we'll feel it soon enough whether we like it or not. But don't worry, there's always an asteroid to distract us. Before we wrap, here's your prescription. Redneckonomics Sticker Shock Therapy is going to be coming out pretty soon. We're pulling the plug on the lies behind inflation, one busted myth at a time. From corporate greed to monetary policy, we're slicing through the noise and naming names. I also want to hear from you. What's your personal moment of sticker shock? Was it a $6 box of cereal, a $900 rent hike, your last hospital bill? Drop us a message, leave a comment, send a voice note, or tag us online. We'll feature some of your responses in the next episode. Look, if you dodge 2 space rocks and still end up crushed by student debt, broken infrastructure, and billion-dollar bailouts, it ain't the asteroids that's the problem. It's the suits, it's the silence, and it's the systems built to survive only on our extinction. I'm Lee Calvin. This has been Roughly Speaking right here on the Roughcut Media Network. Be sure to like and subscribe for current blue-collar economic news and policy content. Roughcut Media Network, where we're louder than the lobbyists. See you next time.